the collective of ascended masters, why so many souls want to be on earth now. Blessings. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters. We know you, as you really are, and we know ourselves, as we really are as well. Those two aspects of who we really are attract you to us. You like that we see the divinity in you, and that we exemplify what the divine is to you. You know that you are evolving and expanding when it is your utmost desire to know yourself as the divine. Once you realize that everything else is just pointing you to the divinity that is within you, you can relax a bit on whether you get that house, that mate, that job, or take that vacation to a tropical paradise. All of those experiences are there to point you to the source, to the divine within you, and they are lovely, and you are meant to have all of those experiences, because they help source to expand. They help us all to become more of what we truly are as divine, unconditional love. We know that the path to knowing yourself as the divine is often a windy one, a long one, and one that is filled with obstacles, potholes, and even explosives, and we want you to know that deep down inside you like that. You like that you get to have those experiences as well, because you understand that they help you to define more clearly what you want, and who you want to be. And so, even though at times it seems like just being on easy street is the way to go, please recognize that you will always create more challenges for yourselves because you like discovering who you really are deep down inside by facing some more of what you are not. You are not limited. You are not poor. You are not unskilled. You are not alone. You are not ugly. You are not any of the things that you may have accused yourselves as in the past. And each of those experiences of thinking that you were one of those things helped you, and helped you in ways you cannot possibly imagine. That's why this journey through the illusion is so sought after. So many souls want to be there at this time. They are lining up in fact to be there. And we are not saying that you all are taking it for granted, but we do want you to make peace with the tough challenges that you have in your lives right now. And we also seek to convince you that your job is not to hide from those challenges, and not to eliminate them. But rather, you are there to confront them, and grow through them. You are there to enjoy the experience of the solution of getting something that you wanted that seemed like it was out of reach, until you had the brilliant idea that just came to you while you were in the shower, or on a walk. You get to have those experiences, because life on Earth is challenging. It is there to get the best out of you. And while you think some of us in this collective made it look easy, trust us, it wasn't. We enjoyed the challenges as well, and we want you to know that from where we are sitting now we can see it was all worth it. We would like for you to join us in that perspective on every hardship in your lives. It was perfect, and it is perfect, and you are perfect, and you are there to become aware of the perfection that you are, experientially. Experience is your friend. All experiences. Embrace them, and know that they are there to be your teachers, and your opportunities, to become more of who and what you really are. That is all for now. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters, and we are always amongst you. Successfully navigating the unknown. It's 3:30 a.m., and your plane has just landed in a country that is totally foreign to you. You have no plans and no resources. You do not know anyone here. You're here only because you're following your inner knowing. Your acquaintance with cosmic knowing is guiding you to fulfillment in everything you do. All you need to do is pay attention to your inner knowing, which is infinite. Something happens, and you suddenly have a place to stay in the company of wonderful people. In a real sense, this is the condition of each of us when we begin to live beyond ego consciousness. When we came into incarnation, we received a mind wipe and had to begin to develop an ego consciousness. It does not know who we are in our essence. It knows only the personality we have developed, but at some point, we begin to wonder if we may exist beyond time and space. Unless we are blessed with an out-of-body experience that feels more real than our empirical life, we can expose ourselves to the accounts of those who have. There is one thing that all report. It is that our awareness beyond the body is the same as we're accustomed to, except that it's so much more. We do not need the physical body to have conscious awareness. In fact, the physical body tends to hinder our full awareness. We can gain a new perspective beyond fear, and we have the opportunity to continue to hold that perspective, which provides an understanding beyond ego consciousness. Ego knows no higher guidance. We can be aware that every moment is new and unknown in its connection to our past or future, but we always receive everything we need in every moment. Our circumstances arrange themselves around us as expressions of divine wonder. We just need to maintain a sense of unconditional acceptance and gratitude for everything. We control the quality of our every moment. The ego is afraid to navigate the unknown. It knows that it is susceptible to being lost at sea without provisions. Because it knows only the consciousness of the physical world, the ego has accepted disease, intimidation, suffering, and potential death. None of this can happen without our conscious acceptance, but how can we know this? Without higher guidance, we cannot know it from within the physical world. We have created a compartment of consciousness by developing deep limiting beliefs about ourselves in order to have an experience that challenges us beyond anything we had thought possible. But we gave ourselves away to become the masters of our circumstances. We call it intuition. It is the inner knowing that comes through the consciousness of our heart. When we awaken our sensitivity to it, and intend to follow its guidance, we transform our lives. We awaken our ability to welcome every experience with gratitude and joy, and we can always know the guideposts along the way. From 3D to 4D and 5D, abyss. Our awakening is a tough challenge, often accompanied with and aggravated by acute pain and hardships. But their overcoming forges our soul and spirit strength, which later serve in assisting others. In this role, our path is thorny, full of shocks and dangers, because it's impossible to learn how to help others if we have not gone through what they are going through. And together with it, we carry the burden of other incarnations, having to pay off all old debts, especially if that is our final embodiment on earth. The symptoms and consequences of this working out are despair and depression, loneliness, and sense of uselessness, loss of orientation and isolation, miseries and disappointments of life, betrayal of loved ones, health, and memory problems, memory zeroing, and many other joys. But in the end, our soul is tempered, passes the exam, and the pain we sense today will become our force tomorrow. A lot of things cause despondency. Just because we stop fighting the dark doesn't mean that the dark has stopped fighting us. Just because we stop believing in the light doesn't mean that the light has stopped believing in us. The universe always seeks to hit our weakest point, which needs to be strengthened. After new injury and vibration failure, we fall into inner abyss, filled up by accumulated anguish and frustration. Belief in self, the source, own life, love, and future vanish. These are difficult states, not illuminated by light, not illuminated by acceptance, wisdom, and endurance, without which we can't get out of the chasm. It's like a rough job before the sacred process, which still needs to be done, as we need to clean the house, wash dishes, and do laundry. That abyss, huge dark space, starts opening up only today. Yesterday, it used to be somewhere far away, but now, it's in front of us. Imagine how much light is needed, how much love and wisdom, tenderness, and mercy are necessary to fill with them this bottomless pit. Yes, the renunciations and complete hopelessness, by their black clot still encapsulate us, but it's time to dissolve it, and go out into the light. We have already passed this way, but often didn't reach the end. Now, we are given the opportunity to go through that experience once more, and not turn off. This is one of our main current exams. The key premise is focusing on creating our new, and not on fighting against the old one. We tried it for a long, and our efforts reached their peak. This implies that our heart, even dried and ratted out and killed, must be reborn. If at least one of its living cells remains, it will still flare up and become the sun. Its shining energy should pour out and not only help to leave abyss, but also transform it, because this is not someone else's pit, but our own. It stores everything what we didn't accept, rejected, and unhealed. All that turned into self-hatred and shame, guilt, and scare. In previous lives, we died violently many times, committed suicide out of desperation, and were victims of ritual executions, willingly and forcefully. Infernal funnels dragged us into the spaces of oblivion, because we ourselves refused to live. Horror and fear, despair and doom have been stuck in our soul for millennia, so in this life, we've experienced this state since early childhood, without realizing the cause. The awakening impulses come from the worlds with which we are connected, every time we are ready to let it pass through us and start transforming. The shells of our soul are crushed by toughest trials, twisted, torn, and stuck together, so that we can barely breathe, the encapsulation of blackness so dense that the heart almost died out under it. But we didn't lose faith in love, beauty, and kindness, didn't despair, but simply accumulated volumes for work, going through many lives. And in this, maybe the last incarnation, we are uncovering these layers, because have enough strength to process and change them. Knowing our light, feeling, and believing in it help on this path. Many guardians from the higher realms are working upon different layers of our soul. They direct flows of special power that stratifies what is coalesced, dissolve what has to be removed, and expands what has been compressed. All our traumatic experiences of this incarnation are remake of our falling into abyss in many lives, fading and reshining anew. The surgical ops are in full swing. Cosmic alchemy heals every cell. Much is done in sleep, and during the day we are put under anesthesia that causes memory lapses and lack of feelings in the body, otherwise we would be torn apart by pain. This is how we are helped to recall our cosmic self, our strength of spirit and consciousness, and restore own heart and light. The volumes of inner work, which seem gigantic, are actually much larger. Facing it, we aren't aware of our soul's power. It has access to different space and dimensions and ability to change worlds. We can lead entire cosmic civilizations out of the abyss of death and oblivion to the light and prosperity. But if we lose heart, sink into depression, and the world goes dark again and joy disappears, it's only because we permitted selves to be in this state, though, in fact, it's only a working material for transforming. These are the archetypal themes of our soul that we have to deal with. We are going through hard-hitting awakening that have waited for so many incarnations. And they too waited for us, the very possibility of it. And it's happening right now. Just don't rush the space, but accept that everything is going as if slowly. As if. But in the end, we'll forever come out of the lost memory and sensuality into surprisingly new ones. We, as souls, as terrestrial manifestation bodies of our multi-dimensional monads, may never return to this planet again, and leave these epochs behind, crystallizing in eternity our Earth's experience to help other space races. We are becoming completely different. That is why all our challenges and overcoming are so important, and all the nuances. They are the most valuable accomplishments, which are extremely important to those worlds that are healed through us for many reasons. For a bit, the program of our life, work, and achievements, skills, and knowledge must be partially closed in order to help us determine the way forward. The second reason is the trauma of betrayals, which has stirred up entire layers of multi-dimensional memory and mental pain. Thirdly, the multi-level attacks of parasites, when we are in a state of extreme vulnerability. And the fourth reason is the urgent need to rethink self. We are not who we think we are. We are much bigger. Our life is not what brings us a salary every week, but what we came, or were sent on earth, for. What do with such passion and energy that makes us spiritualized? In our striving for the new, the old ends, and the brighter one unfold. For millennia, we were deliberately made blind and deaf, separated and isolated from self and others, so that couldn't recover from huge shocks. We can do it now, not from scratch, but with a whole treasure trove of attainments. This is how we recall our true cosmic one. In all cases, we aren't alone, are led, and will be guided, and more opportunities will open up. Abandon once and forever established views, habits, and taking. The obsolete pulls us down, And it's time to explore the world anew. Don't lose faith. Remember our past and other worlds. Today, their codes help overcome what happened to us in this incarnation. The stars diminish and fade before shining even brighter. Everything that we truly believe occurs. It is our belief that makes things possible. Allow our heart to regain its strength. Recap on light. Restore the creator in self. And get out of abyss. sorceryofflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.